Baylor's Jeremy Sochan quickly stood out this season as a big-time defensive presence and NBA prospect. At around 6'9", 230, Sochan has the versatility to guard a number of positions, and while his offensive game is still a work in progress, his ability as a playmaker and other flashes are enough to buy some of that upside. Sochan is safely a top 3 defender in this class. His combination of lateral quickness, physicality, versatility, and feel are off the charts for an 18-19-year-old forward. He consistently impacted this part of the game and is one of the few you could realistically see switching and holding his own against all 5 positions. Sochan's lateral foot speed allows him to keep up with many different types of players. He recovers, uses the cross step, and absorbs contact really well, and served as an irritant for opponents.
Weak side to get that putback. Brown leads Baylor with 6 points. Pack. Shackelford and Sochan one-on-one.
Sochan almost a steal. The lead is 10. Saboyan used the ball fake.
Offensive rebound for Baylor. Their lead now grows to 6. 2 terrific games here earlier today. Coates back to Jackson, 4 to shoot. Sochan on him. Block shot by 4.
Ready the confidence to take it with 19 on the shot clock.
He was also very effective guarding both sides of the pick and roll, whether it was being up to the level, switching, navigating screens, icing instinctively. It was all very impressive. And in the modern NBA, pick and roll defense is so vitally important that having a guy who can do multiple things at a high level in this regard is a big selling point of his game.
Ravi, it is a keep the ball out of the paint game for Baylor. Scott Drew, very simple with his game plan today. Can you execute it? Shackelford, quick shot, high archer. That's no good.
R.J. Davis, and now the double comes. Davis able to dribble out of it. Davis in a scramble, leaves it underneath.
3 to 59, 3 weeks ago in Lawrence, and it was never a game. It started off 12-2. It was 30 in television.
Away from their opponent.
Well, methodically, they've done it, okay? They came in with a game
plan inside of you when you're out there. And good finish.
And now Sochan, the big
My book back up.
Oh, he's got that quick release, and we're seeing it today. Baylor basket on the other end, stopped a 13-0 run. Love almost walked. Sochan.
I remember they had one of the better freshmen in the country in Langston Love. He was an ESPN 100 number 20.
And the last thing defensively, and maybe what we should have started with, is his feel and anticipation off the ball or in help, leading to next level rotations and causing turnovers. You'll notice he often has his feet bouncing and moving, head on a swivel, paying attention to man and ball, and has a great grasp of his responsibilities weak side that really stand out.
Terry Oglesby got that one. Sochan
Over. Noah Gurley, Shackelford on the baseline, double team. They've been very patient, run their offense well.
play. He only has 7 points, but he does. If you watch Baylor, he does so much
covering Davison.
Yep.
You know what? A bad matchup is better than no matchup. That's how you look at it if you're Scott Drew.
Well, there's hands, and that is
largely from Ingram. They're down 43-29. Another turnover.
another bite of the apple for Sochan.
They need him to be a second scorer.
And Aruna. Farabello. Wraparound feed. Doumbia. He kind of took it back.
19-4 run by Baylor. And with 2 on the shot clock.
That they can finish over some of the trees inside.
Inside again to Baycott, and he just pummels his way in. No offensive
They are
foul.
outstanding. Best point guard in the country with Nemhard. Best post player with Timmy. There's a team, Purdue, that really has high eye.
As Brown gets the deflection. Right there. Man, I don't know, that was close.
One of the bigger appeals of Sochan's offensive game is his playmaking. While I wouldn't While I wouldn't describe him as a point forward and don't know if he quite has that kind of upside in terms of controlling the game, I think he can be a very good complement to an offense and take on more responsibility than he had this year. He did a good job of creating angles using his body on drives, making drop-offs, did good work in transition, and showed an exciting feel for the game that I think we see a team experiment with a little more.
Brown misses. Sochan feeds Samba for the deuce.
To those scoring guards, and we include Abaji in that.
Sochan, the freshman from England. Brown. Sochan up ahead. Brown.
Incredible moments in Oregon sports history, man. Will Richardson bricked that one. Now here comes Baylor. On the move, Kendall Brown is taking.
Wilson goes baseline, trying for Santos Silva. Nice pass. Sochan up ahead for Meyer.
Great feed from Sochan, a little low. Kendall Brown catches and
Jackson, quick pass, loose ball. Picked up by the Bears. They got a 3-on-1. This time Brown wheels
Picked away at Kincho. And now Sochan trying for Chum with shots.
Now as a scorer in the half court, he did most of his damage as a cutter, playing in the dunker spot and some as a roll man. He's still a work in progress here, but at the very least he has some play finishing ability that will come to fruition earlier, easier than some of the creation stuff will.
Kinjo. Sochan!
Hit. Brown rebounds. Sochan.
350 Baylor. Well, that floor looks slippery, doesn't it? Guys are sliding it.
Kinjo. Sochan! Meyer. Sochan. Good finish.
Well, good job by McCormick to stay in front. Bonner back to Sochan.
I agree, John. And remember when we saw him early in the season, he was hurt. There's a great.
It's a program that did not just win one national title.
Can't do that. Sochan. That was gorgeous.
I don't think so. I think you reward that effort. And a foul and a basket.
Set it back up. Sochan comes out. Speed inside.
I think the most obvious and important improvement area for Sochan is his three-point shooting. Becoming reliable from deep would give him a pretty clear role to fill in an offense on spot-ups and also open up the rest of his game. Mechanically, I think he's solid. He has a workable base, his shot prep has improved a ton over the last 2 or so years, and he has great confidence, which is really half the equation. I bet on him being respectable into year 2 and 3 of his career at least, but this is an important area that'll dictate a lot of what he does at the next level.
Shirts everywhere.
Sochan will try.
This tournament in the opening round, about 3.5 hours from where he grew up, outside Oklahoma City, is Sochan.
This lineup's been decent though for the Bears so far. Sochan lines up a 3.
It's so special.
To come off. Michigan State is 4 of 6 from 3. Sochan, that's good.
The Sooners' great game plan is
in their range. T-Set was trying to test that out.
That man thinks he's Steph right now.
National championship in Baylor men's basketball history. Sochan, first minute time. This is offensive rebound. Brown, Sochan, he will fire and knock it down. That's his.
There aren't too many things to pick out with Sochan defensively, but his lack of rim protection handicaps him to a degree. If he was a bit more explosive, longer, and inclined as a shot blocker, I think there would be just a little more value and comfort with him in that 5 spot. He was actually in perfect position a lot of times, but couldn't quite get there to alter the shot. Maybe his verticality, feel, and positioning will be enough that it doesn't matter, but I think he's more of a projectable spot minute guy in that role than someone you want to rely on, aside from him being a bit undersized for it.
Rockington finds his
Sochan on Baycott. Nice. Gives it up. Black.
Nice. In the game for him.
And this it.
The Dolny steals the pass.
Slides to the basket.
Gold wire.
Pack trying to turn the corner. Flagler didn't let him do it.
Harris rejected.
8 turnovers compared to 10 field goals this half.
Now Sochan is still pretty raw as a scorer and self-creator. The handle is solid and I think it should be recognized as a plus first, but he's not quick or explosive enough to create a ton of opportunities against non-bigs, and hasn't shown that brute force, length, or skill set in the post to fall back on either. He did have some intriguing moments, especially attacking closeouts. He was actually pretty good at it. But the thing is his shooting ability will dictate if he can even get those opportunities, because NBA teams are not closing out in the way they did in college until he proves that he can knock them down.
Here now, Sochan, tough shot.
Sochan spinning on arms.
Hubert Davis immediately calls on Leaky Black to re-enter this game. Nice. And Sochan.
South after coming off of an 0-for-9 performance against Portland.
Sochan drives the basket and scores
To get the easy bucket. Sochan passed up the three, puts it on the deck.
Extraordinary athlete.
Sochan spinning. Oh, look at that adjustment.
Sochan. They kick it to Sochan. He goes baseline, spins, hangs. That's amazing.
Who was such a big part of their national championship team
last year. Matthew Meyer kicks to the corner. Sochan. The smaller Gillespie on him. Jumper
down into his bench because of the injuries. The defense by Miles. Sochan over the top.
7 to shoot. Got caught in midair. Sochan picks up his dribble. That's a tough shot. Got clock winding down. Sochan spins, shoots.
Jeremy Sochan would likely need to have a few more things really happen offensively for his ceiling to be higher than this, but I'm confident in his potential to be one of the more important players on a winning team. I think he'll end up somewhere from the late lottery to the late teens, and unless someone else falls, I don't think he makes it past Houston at 17. And I also really like San Antonio and Oklahoma City as potential landing spots. Like most comparisons, they're a little tricky with Sochan, but I think there's some Aaron Gordon in there, much less explosive and probably won't get to his level as a self-creator, but some similarities in primary role, and then there's some Boris Diaw in there as well.
Very good. In fact, in March, they have the best inside the Zubac.
Gordon, look out.
Harris gets it back. He'll attack feed from Charlotte.
James Borrego talked about him. David said he kind of sets the tone for this team.
Diaw gives it back. What a look from Boris. Diaw on the drive. Inside the dunk.
And if he could win it again, he'd be the first since Tim Duncan to win it consecutively. Here's Diaw now moving in against West. 6:11 left to go here in the third. Beautiful pass. Diaw.
Jeremy Sochan has what it takes to be one of the more important winning players in the league. Wherever he brings his game as a three-point shooter will dictate a lot about his fit into lineups and the levels he reaches, but especially in the modern NBA, teams will be interested in taking the 6'9", 230 guy who's versatile on both ends and has a lot of room to grow at just 19 years old.
O'Shea gon' be the first, so I'll forever be the second. Who rep Lamar Park is something you ain't got a question. They like, damn, grown up, better than we expect.
You can see it upon my show.